welcome to Heartline Dialogues, where we explore deep questions and open hearted conversations about living a meaningful life to your full potential. Today, I have a very exciting guest. We all love traveling, right? So, I have a guest who's going to take us through. He has a vision of going through all African countries, 54 countries by next year, August 2026, and he'll only be turning 30. So, 54 countries by 30. So this is a friend that I met in South Africa, and we've been friends since then. His name is Jovenchi. He also has a company called Unlock Dunia. He organized my trip for Europe tour with my best friend. That was an amazing trip. I know you can get an itinerary online, but when someone does it for you for places that he has been, it's different. He knows where you need to stay, how you need to plan, which countries you need to do. I did 5 countries, 11 cities in 14 days, and it was amazing. So this is Jovenchi. Welcome and enjoy this conversation. Yeah. Hi, Jovenchi.
Hi, Becky.
How are
Thank you
you?
for having me. I'm good.
How was Uganda? Because I know you just arrived recently here.
Like
Yeah.
3 days ago.
Okay.
It was a good time. It was
Okay.
an eye-opening trip. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. Thank you for taking time. Because the minute I have been asking, when are you next in that? We need to do this episode
Yeah.
because I need to have the. And when you say that you're doing that, 54 countries in Africa, I was like, this is the one we're going to talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry, it's going to be a relaxed conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. How would you say people close to you describe you as Jovenchi?
I think though my friends would say I'm fun. I think I'm such a fun person and funny. My family, I think they think I'm ambitious and driven. I'm sure my friends think like that as well, but I think I was like the life of the party in a way.
Okay, okay, that's nice. I would say the way I describe you, I've met you from a party,
Yeah.
from mutual friends in South Africa. Then I've met you like with family, your cousins, your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
I would say you're constant, the same
Yeah.
person, same fun person when with friends, with family. So
Yeah.
I would say the same, fun,
Yeah.
but also ambitious and driven.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Okay, so if you look back, what sparked you the feeling like you want to travel? You know, when you're growing up, you see, it's either you see those aunties and uncles that are always traveling, and you say, when I grow up, this is the kind of person I want to be, or you watch movies and you're like, I want to see that country. So what was it for you?
It was actually a similar story because I remember in my family, the few people that used to travel, they used to live abroad. And they either went there through university majority of the time, then they got to work there. So for me, it was just the same thing. Like, I mean, I had that thing like for me to travel, I need to go and study, then get a job abroad, then afford to travel or do travel in that way. So then it was through university. I was already doing my first year here, but I was very like unhappy, like on the way on the
Which
inside.
uni?
UDism.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it was such a difficult thing to tell people because I feel like I believe UDism is such a prestigious university to get into. So to say like you don't want to go to UDism, you want to go abroad, and it's just like I mean, who lives UDism in a way? Because you know, in a way, I mean, it's different now, I believe, but if you tell people you're working, I mean, you studied Judaism, chances of getting a job or people looking at you in a very different way, I think, obviously, depending with the course is higher. But then, so I kind of found a route to go like study abroad. And then my passion started when I was studying abroad.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So,
to fully do it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you did when you were studying. So, did you complete the first year before you left, or how
say that
how
the
did that happen?
I'd say that's a story for another day in detail, but I did a few months, and then in that, I kind of took like a gap year, and in that gap year, I was trying to find all the best possible ways, you know, like from scholarships, what countries. I remember I even studied Germany. I did that.
The language.
I did 3 months course because most of the scholarships in Germany you needed to know the language, to have at least I think A1 or B1 certificate, and then but Europe was like my go-to because I was consuming a lot of like YouTube videos and everybody was like in Europe or white by the time traveling, but then circumstances, I ended up in South Africa, and I think it's one of the best decisions to ever happen to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's nice, beautiful. So you've gone to South Africa, built a life there. Then you've created a travel lifestyle, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
How do you think the travel lifestyle now changed the way you view yourself compared to if you hadn't had traveled at all?
I think, people always speak travel gives you exposure,
Yeah.
which it does.
Mm.
But I think with that comes with, it kind of like grounds you to you as a human being. Because I mean, when I go to big cities, for example, if I go to I've been to Rio, I've been to Zurich, been to Malaysia, Joburg, where I reside. Um, the conversations are more of like what you have and who you are, in a sense, like what are you studying, what job are you, how much are you making. But when I go to like small spaces in villages, people rarely ask me like what's your job or like what's your salary. People are just ask me like how's your mother, how many are you, and it's just like it kind of brings that thing that you're like very big but you're also very small.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I mean, okay, you have 2 degrees, and then, but it's like when you go to these other places, they just like want to know your relationship with your mother. Like, how is your mother thinking of you now? What's the experience? Will you buy your mother something, or your father, your siblings? So it's just like, it really grounds you in a way that we are so big. You can be so big, but you can also be
Be
so
very
small.
small.
And I
Yeah.
guess you just need to be human before anything, before your qualifications or anything. I think that's my biggest take from my travels.
Yeah, okay. That's a very good
Yeah.
perspective. I have experienced that.
Yeah.
Yes, when you go to big cities, the way it's viewed, and when you go to smaller
Yeah.
cities, yeah. Like when I went to Vietnam, I feel like it shaped my sense of spirituality and understanding
Yeah.
life, because there they just value the community, who you are as a person, the impact you're making, but with family at
Yeah.
family level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do understand that. Yeah, and that changes you and
It
grounds
really
you.
shapes your thinking just in general,
Yeah.
like just without example, just in life, you'll just sit back before making a certain decision and be like, actually, what would someone maybe in Vietnam handle the situation?
Yeah.
Maybe I could do it this way. I don't have to be acting. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
So with that, you live in South Africa, you come to Dar from time to time.
Yeah.
I remember one thing that I struggled with is knowing where I belong. Like the days that I sit here and I feel like, ah, man, I miss. There's a community I created, people like a family there. There's a
Yeah.
lifestyle I created there. So how do you stay grounded in where is home and where do you feel like you belong? There's a difference
Yeah.
between belonging and fitting in.
Yeah.
So where do you feel like you belong and how do you stay grounded? Like I'm living my life here.
So I feel like if we had this conversation when we met, I would have told you like, South Africa is everything. South Africa, and it's not a bad place. I mean, I've lived there for so long, and I loved it very much. But when I come home, I'm like, okay, now this is home. Just like from the interaction I have with people, from the freedom I have in the country, and it just brings so much peace on just so many things. Because really, I mean, this is really home. Because as much I've built a life there, I have friends, I have, some family that are living there, but I just feel like it's just a different feel. And every time I come, I just see a different aspect of me. They're like, this is home. I mean, maybe there's a certain lifestyle that can't be easily attained here, maybe for now for me, but I mean, there's so many good things. There's so many things like, you know what? I mean, I can go have just my eye. I can go by the beach, run. Like every time I go for a run here by the beach, I'm like, damn, I can't do that there. And I mean, obviously you can do it if you go to Cape Town whatsoever, but I just feel like it just feels so home to me here. And I have most of my people here, my friends, my family that I genuinely, I mean, at the end of the day, you're in a foreign country, you're forced to make friends. It's not like friendship by choice, It's like you have to talk to people at the workplace and then build friendship because you're going to be idle. And most of the times I always feel like if I had my friends and family here, would I build the friendships that I have now? Or would I not? But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. So with that now, like you feel home here, and then South Africa is also a place where you're building a life, and you've created a travel
Yeah.
lifestyle. Travel lifestyle would feel like you're a gypsy, you're always here moving.
Yeah.
Like you're from Uganda just
Yeah.
now, then you stay here for a few months, then you
Yeah.
move to South Africa. How do you envision your future? Like, there's that thing of feeling like I want to build a life, I want a
Yeah.
partner,
Yeah.
do get kids if you want
Yeah.
them, and so do you picture a future where there's stillness, that maybe you travel once or twice a year or once in 3 years,
Yeah.
but you're grounded somewhere, or how do you picture your future?
Interesting. I feel it's like something I always think, and it's like every new day I get a new vision or how I would answer that question. So currently where I'm at,
Yeah.
I feel like a few years back, I've not been like a much of a like kids person, like a
No.
children people. Like
Yeah.
you see, every time I see you with your nephew, I'm like, okay, Becky really like I'm like, okay, happy for her.
That's for you, but
that's
not
for
me.
you. So I've never just been that person. I'm not sure why yet, but I've just never been that person. So the idea of a family and being just based in one place, it's a bit, I don't know. And I feel like we're also in this era where we're just challenging like norms that we're used to. Sometimes I feel like we're challenging them for no reason, because why wouldn't you want to have kids and build a family? But I feel like that era brings all these things, because I always feel like, but why should I? And there's always, I mean, because you're also more free now. We're doing so many things our parents didn't do. And I always feel like, I don't know, like if my mom did it again, would she do it the way, I mean, now if I ask her, she would say she would do whatever she did, like over and over again. But I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe she could have a second chance and do it differently, because
Like not have kids.
yes, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be here, but just like I feel like it's just a different route. And for me, I feel like I've never been a family person, like I've never envisioned that like for my life for a long time. But even now, I always feel like, let me just travel now in case that changes. When it comes, like at least I've done part of it. So I kind of feel like I'm kind of like trying to see, balancing it in a sense that there's this rush. I'm traveling, and I enjoy it so much now. But then maybe in the future, if things changes, at least I would have done this part, because I don't think I'll be a great, father, partner if I'm in that situation where I haven't fulfilled my things, my desires, my accomplishments.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I always think about it. I love traveling, but I also, one thing that I've realized, I love a sense of home. Like,
You do. Just based on what I see on social media, I'm like, okay, Becky, she likes this.
I like home.
Yeah.
Even when I travel, all vacations that I take are 15 days max.
Yeah.
By day 14, I'm usually like, I need my bed, I need my people, I need to be around my community. Yeah, so I always look at it in a sense that whatever I do, I need to picture like 20 years from now, how do I want to envision? Like, even if I'm traveling, there's a place that I really call home. If it's Tanzania, if it's not Tanzania, but that picture is always with me. So when I see you traveling, I always picture like, okay, that's we want the same things, or it's different. Yeah, and I think we've had the conversation about having kids. Previously, if you want kids, and you're like, that's not something I've ever thought about, and all that. So I just wanted to understand that perspective. So interesting. Yeah. So with you being a content creator, and you represent some brands and sometimes yourself, how do you balance the being present when you're traveling and also documenting everything? Because people these days don't stay
don't live in
present,
the moment.
don't live in the moment and all that. How do you balance the pressure
When people say that, I'm just like, oh well, maybe for you. Because I think for me, I mean, I don't think I really balance. You kind of get out there when I say this, but I really like creating content so much. I noticed because earlier this year, I had taken like a 4 months break from like posting on social media, and for me, that's like a big deal. Like everyone around me was like, they usually like I'm with them, but they'll go see what I posted on like that setting. And during that time, I realized like I enjoy I created so much content, even though I knew I don't want to post it. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not sure if I want to do this, full time. So I really enjoy content in a way that for me, living in the moment involves that. However, I've created a system in a way. For example, like I work with hotels, right? For example, I'll work on a collaboration basis. They'll give me maybe a 2-night stay. So I'll create content for the hotel, but I also need to enjoy the hotel amenities and stuff. So, for example, when I just get to the hotel, I'll have an idea of where I want to have my content. So I'll go by the pool, swim a little bit for the content, do all that, wrap it up, then enjoy the thing. But at the same time, when I travel, like if I'm taking scenery videos, I'll take my content first, and then I'll take a step back and enjoy, talk to people, and just have a different feel that I want document. But for me, the way I see it, when I look at something, I need to film it. And I don't think it comes from because I make this as content, but I think just for memories, I really enjoy like a nice content. Like for example, when your Vietnam pictures came out, you see, now that that's good,
content.
good. Yeah, that's good content. So I was looking forward to every video. I was like, that's very good. And yeah, so I just feel like for me, I kind of just like the balance for me is just I do a bit of the content because it's not a long. I mean, people also make it sound like we are streaming, every time it just no. I mean, it's a few, especially now with short form content. Because when I did YouTube, it was a bit different because that's like a lot of documentation. But like reels, my reels go 30 seconds to
1 minute.
1 minute. So I mean, it's just a snippet. But then obviously I do my stories and stuff. But it doesn't take as much time as people make it sound. So kind of balance in a way.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm also the thing with me is I'm a instant poster, which my sister tells me, you should be a content creator because it's like I don't think of I don't go back and start putting it together. I'm there, then it goes. But so for me, I do feel like I'm usually present and I actually document it. So I just wanted to understand maybe the pressure comes when you're working with brand. It has to be a little bit different.
Yeah, that one does. That one does. Because sometimes I also try to balance, especially now with traveling, because I'm trying, like saving costs includes like collaborating with hotels. So I usually try to balance where I can just, stay in a cheap accommodation in a hostel for a few days, rather so I can take out that, because I also don't want to have that burnout of having the pressure to, because I mean, sometimes the sun doesn't come out every time. So it's like the sun comes out, I want to enjoy maybe like a canoeing, but I also need to film for so it's like, I try to also balance that. I don't have back-to-back like collaborations, just to have some.
Okay, that's nice. By the way, great content for Uganda. I have the Lunch by the Nile River. I have a song for it when I go.
Literally, I had somebody say like, when I go there, you won't get enough of that pool. Like I'll be posting that pool for ages. I was like, that was the goal. So it's so nice.
I can't wait to try it. I've always pictured Uganda. People talk about it as Uganda is the nightlife. So I feel like it's not somewhere I would enjoy.
I didn't even do the nightlife. I was like.
But then seeing that is something that I would definitely enjoy. The Lunch by the Nile River, there's this One Direction song that goes that we'll go for lunch down by the river. I'm like, wow,
yes, perfect. So, actually, it is perfect for it.
So I can't wait to try that. Okay, so we've talked about your travel lifestyle. Let's talk about the vision now. 54 African countries by August 2026. That's before you turn 30. That's a good vision, because my vision before turning 30, I wanted to travel out of Africa. I didn't do it when I turned 30, but I just did it right after I turned 30. I traveled, but it's a good feeling to accomplish something that you planned for. So 54 countries outside of. You've traveled the world. You've been to Brazil. You've been to Switzerland. You've been to so many countries. Why the focus on Africa?
Well, so it's such a build-up. Every time I want to travel to Africa, I just always lean on the setbacks. It's so expensive to travel to Africa, and they always say, why travel to Africa if you can travel to, like Europe and whatever. So that was one of the things, which is actually funny because when I look, for example, like I've been to Switzerland a couple of times. I know it's expensive, but I make it work. So I was like, why shouldn't I make it work for Africa as well? If I know Switzerland can be expensive, I still go and find a way to make it work. Why can't I make it for Africa? But then again, I've had a few scenarios of like racism out of the continent. I've had a situation in Cambodia of being deported just because of, I'm black, I'm African, I have a weak passport. So I've had just a few, it's been good out there and it's not bad. And also, I don't want my vision to also make people feel like you need to just travel to Africa. The world is beautiful. I've been there. Like, it's beautiful, right? And I feel like I've had situations where I'm like, but I'm loved at home, man. Like, I'm really loved at home. Like, it's not that deep. Like, why? Like, for the visas, if you want to go to get a Schengen visa, it's like you have to tell them, I'm worthy. I'm going to come back. I'm loved at home. And it's just like, it's so draining. Like, it's so draining. But I know it won't be easy in Africa as well. But I feel like as an African, Africa is the homest I feel like you can feel. Obviously not for everyone, but I feel like it's just like, I'm home. These are my people in one way or the other compared to, it's just, yeah. And I feel like also Africa has been misrepresented for a long time. Like, I've consumed a lot of content for people coming to Africa. And I don't know, like the Africa they're really portraying, it's not the majority the way they make it sound. Like, no offense to any race, but white people that come to, tourists that come to Africa, most of the highlights, if they post, for example, like a photo dump, it will be pictures of them with these black kids,
with no
looking
shoes.
very shabby, no shoes, dirty, dusty. And I'm thinking, I've never gone to a European country in a restaurant or just seen a child
and
be like, maybe I should take myself. It's never crossed my mind. And the same people, okay, I've gaslighted myself so much in this story. And at some point I was like, maybe they've never seen a black child and maybe it could be fascinating. I don't know the experience. I don't know how, but maybe just like that pinch of doubt. But it's like when these people go to restaurants, like fancy restaurants in Africa, they see black kids. It's never crossed their mind to take a picture of this black kid.
Yeah.
It's only the one that pushing a certain stereotype and narrative, which I think, Africa has come a long way. And I think, really, like, we're not saying it's not existing, like things like poverty, crime, war, but it's really not that deep. Other parts of the world, the mass shooting happened in America, but people go there, things you think of America as like New York, a big city where people make it. So I just feel like Africa deserves the chance. When you think of South Africa, you don't go, oh, it's crime. You think of the beautiful Cape Town, you think of Table Mountain, you think of the big city, Joburg. Tanzania as well. It shouldn't cross your mind. There's, like, for example, African countries with Ebola. It shouldn't be the first thing you think of malaria. Like, come on, there's the Nile. It's there's a better experience to talk about than that. So I feel like
we deserve a chance.
Yeah, we deserve a chance. It's always best for us to just share our own story, our own way, how we want it to be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. Yeah. Because I was just wondering, because it felt like, so are you traveling across Africa because it's just like your region? I wanted to hear the narrative from you. Yeah, because I also want to travel around Africa. But I just wanted to hear the narrative from you. What pushed it? Because I know you've traveled around the world. Yeah, so I just wanted to hear the narrative. And what you've said is really true. The narrative that we have of Africa that people are putting for us, and even the one that we're putting out there, it's usually this place that we're talking about poverty.
Yeah, it's like we need saving.
We need saving. It starts from even when people are doing their essays to go outside and study. The thing that will go there, it's like, I'm from Africa. This is what I need. But we forget about the beauty that is in here. And one among the things that I also felt called out on myself was when I went to Joburg, I wasn't enjoying the big city as much. I would find myself driving to Hartbeespoort just because to have a dam and a little bit of green and all that. So I was like, when I got back, I was like, there's so many places here that I could drive, let's say, to Pugu and actually just sit in the green, or I could just go to Morogoro, something like that. So I learned to value that. I used to value my country just because of the beach.
Yeah.
But now the beach and safaris, yes. But
Yeah.
now I just value even the fact that, you could just sit in Masaki. If you sit at Fishmonger,
Yeah.
it's
That's
a rooftop.
Yeah.
But when you look at the city, you actually see green.
Yeah.
In Joburg, you would sit somewhere,
Yeah.
you don't see the green actually.
Yeah.
So it just made me appreciate more. Like,
Yeah.
here I'm in Joburg and I realized that how much I need the green. Like I have to take a drive a bit to get to it. So it made me appreciate that my country, Africa as a continent itself, like there's so much that it can offer. So I'm glad you put that out there.
But just the stereotype of what we need to achieve by 30. Because there's a lot, for women, you need to get married, you need to have kids, you need to have a family. For men, the same thing, and you need to be actually more successful. Like you need to have a house, probably, which I'm not saying they're unrealistic or they're not worthy chasing, but I feel like we just need to do more. Because I feel like not everybody is planning to get married or is at the point to get married. So for me, this is like my passion. So I feel like it's more fulfilling for people. Deadlines are fine, they're good. I guess they keep you on your toes. But I feel like you should be chasing things that you really enjoy in life. If you really want to get married before 30, that's good. You don't have to. But if you really want to have that career ladder, go for it before 30. And just, deadlines are good, but it should be for something that you enjoy and you are worthy chasing. Because now, it's like, now you're going to end up, for example, being with someone that you don't like fully love just because you wanted to get married by 30. And I just feel like I also want to challenge the stereotypes of what we should be at certain ages. And I feel like when I succeed with 50, I will. If not, still, I feel like it will bring a different, like,
narrative.
Yes, in the people in my family, other people who are watching me, they'll have other things to look for achieving. Not necessarily to travel to all 54 African countries, but it could just be like, maybe I could do something else. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, there's a saying that says, make sure you define what success is to you before you follow a narrative that you're given, because you will get there and you won't feel the sense of achievement. Yeah, so it's good that you defined it for yourself. So, yes, comes next year, August 2026, you're turning 30, you've achieved it. What do you hope to feel in your heart? Leave other people outside. What do you hope to feel for yourself?
It's actually bad. Not bad, but I've never sat down and think about it in that way. But it's always how I want people to feel out of this journey, which I've kind of like explained some of it. I think for me, it's just to think and feel I did that one thing I really wanted to do and I gave it my all. In a sense, if it turns out the way I thought it will, if it won't, but I really gave it my all. Because for me, like, I've loved content creation. I've been doing it for so long and stuff. There are times I feel like, why am I not getting to my peak and whatnot? And I feel like doing it full time, doing it in the way I'm doing it, I feel like for me to be pouring my all. And I feel like if it works, if it doesn't, if I succeed to either change the narrative, not, but I want to feel like, like this is what I did to the society. Like I did something. This is what I brought to the table.
This is your contribution.
Yeah, this is the contribution I brought to the table.
So they say that having a dream without a plan, it's just a dream. You'll just have it in your mind. You won't succeed with it. So maybe just let me know, what's the approach you're taking to this? Are you doing like a solo travel? Do you have group travel, some of them? Are you doing collaborations, as you say, with hotels, maybe different companies? What's your approach? How are you making this happen? Because if someone hears this and would feel like this is a dream very far-fetched. Because I look at my salary, I look at everything, I look at the timelines. I'm like, okay, how are you going to do this? Your own country number?
Number 15 now.
Number 15.
Yeah.
So there are like 39 countries to go. How are you doing this?
So it's when I've had this idea for a long time, but I've always felt like it's just not good enough, in a sense. Like I just feel like it could get better, it just could be better, and I always feel like I could do more to the idea. I've done so much planning before. Like you'd think this is the best I've done but executing it for me, that was the best. To just take that one step and allowing things to unfold, but with a plan. eventually. So what I'm doing group trips. I mean, I'm doing collaborations with hotels. I'm trying to cut down cost as much as I can. And I think the story kind of sells itself. It's a bit easier. I've done brand collaborations like hotels, travel companies, activity companies. So for example, like in Uganda, I did bungee jumping, water rafting. That was on collaboration. And that if I had paid it myself, that was like around like 250, I think, USD from my pocket. So I have that back in me to explore more. So I'm trying to cut down costs by working with brands like hotels, lifestyle brands that can jump in. I also have my own saving because it was like a long time plan in a way. So I have my savings but I know it won't take me fully. But again, I'm trying to also see in the way things that are gonna bring money into it. So I was also thinking of something. I don't want it to get to that point because I really want it to be a free show for everybody. I've thought about having subscriptions for my stories, but I don't know. I feel like I really want it to be for everybody. Like I want everyone to have access to it. So that won't be the route I'll take. But if I do, guys, please subscribe. Give me that money. But mostly, I think it's just like working with brands. I also want to come out with digital products. I've thought of having like maybe coffee table books, of pictures of places I've been.
Wow.
So I think like that's like a good thing to have. So I'll probably during the course of the trip of the journey, I also come with because I feel like also people giving me money. People can be quite entitled in a way that like we pay your travel. So when you ask you to show you this, show us this. In a way. And I think from a creative perspective, that's the last thing you want people to like kind of direct how you want to go. So I'll probably come with also like digital products, but also again, people support me through the business. I plan trips for people. So every time I leave a destination, I get people inquiring. They want to do gorilla trekking. For example, like now in Uganda, people are inquiring a lot, which is good. So it's like I'm pouring my business into this vision. Probably it's going to pour into the business eventually. And yeah.
Okay.
But I'm winging it. There's no like if someone asks for my plan for the year and my finances for the year, it's a bit shaky, but I trust the process.
Okay. So like, do you have lists of maybe collaborations clients that you're actually going for, that you're trying to?
Yeah. So So I think, for example, like I'm tackling it in like, I think working with tourism board is very nice because the part of Africa that I'm trying to show is something tourism board should also be aiming to show, right? Because I mean, they're not aiming to show like poor infrastructure or poverty and whatnot. So I feel like working with tourism board, that will be a plus. But just like booking platforms, like bookings.com, Airbnb or, airlines as well. So I don't have like bucket list brands I would love to work, but I see so many brands I can work in certain regions, like West Africa. I feel like working with MTN because it's spread across the region. I think that would be a good thing. I mean, working with Booking.com, that would be good. So I have a few brands.
Tanzania. I would picture it being a connecting.
It's very because recently they just introduced their flight to Nigeria, to Lagos, and I just feel like I'm the perfect fit in the sense like, I would love to start West Africa with Nigeria with Air Tanzania. And I recently flew with them from Entebbe and it was so good. Like, I was just so impressed. Literally with my video, I was just editing the video before I got here. And I was thinking, am I like easily impressed or it's just so good? Because I saw they had like wooden bamboo utensils. So it's like, I was like, they're really going away from plastic, they're being environmental cautious. And I mean, it's nice, they're new, so I was just like, oh, this is good. Okay. And they literally gave me, I don't know if it's common, for me, as someone who I travel a lot, in the flight when they give you like water, they give you in those small glasses, but they gave you a 350 bottle. I was like, this makes so much sense. I mean, it's a small thing, but it really changes. Just because, like, if you want to drink water, I mean, that water, it's just like
the plastic cup.
Yes, now you have to. Now you're looking stubborn all the time. You're ordering, So, but I would love to work with a lot of African airlines, including Air Tanzania. Yeah,
that's nice, interesting. Yeah. Okay, Heartmine Dialogues.
We're here. Thank you for the platform.
Okay, great. So there's always this. Africa, we usually picture ourselves like one Africa, like
Yeah.
almost same culture and stuff, like things are similar. Yeah. What is one culture shock that you've had within Africa so far? And
Yeah.
what country? And yeah.
So I've lived in South Africa for like 7 years, I think 8 years. So I would love that to be like my biggest point of reference in this, because every day I could see like a different, oh, hey, so you guys do it here. Okay, okay. But I think with the cultural shocks, Africa is very common, like we're very similar. Our similarities, I think, are more than our differences. But I noticed the biggest difference in Africa is how the different African countries interpret their culture. In a sense, like, for example, like, like Sangoma, in South Africa, they look at it not in the way we look at it. Here, if you're a Sangoma, it's like your witchcraft. I mean, how dare you? If you go to a Sangoma for any type of healing, it's looked upon like you're doing shady stuff. But in South Africa, it's big. There are sangomas in the city. There are sangomas that look like us. The picture we have of sangomas here is like
You're wearing
yes.
things, yeah.
But there are sangomas just look like us, and they do healing and they speak of healing. Things like ancestors. South Africa really embrace it from the get-go. Like, we'll talk about, I hope one day I'll make it, oh God, and then they'll say, oh, my ancestors hold it. But for me as a Tanzanian, like, what do you mean? Like, what are you on? Because I feel like with us ancestors, we interpret very different, such a different culture. And I'm not saying either one is good or the other one is bad, but I think for my biggest shock has always been how we interpret different things in the different countries. Yeah. And I think I think I have other examples, but I think that's such a good example of how the same thing, it's just natural healing, connecting with the ancestors who I believe they existed before us. But in Tanzania and I think other parts of Africa, probably it's a bit looked upon. You see how also we talk about Nigerian movies. Those in witchcraft and whatnot. But it's just like in Nigeria, it's probably maybe also a different interpretation of what we think.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think I also experienced that, and it was at work. Imagine this is a professional setting, and we used to have this leave. It's called the religious leave. The religious leave is because people are different. You would find maybe Eid is not celebrated in South Africa, so you don't want
that was
someone
also a shock. I mean, I get it, but
you don't want someone to feel like they're deprived. So you'd have a religious leave. Someone will take based on their religion. So people would also take that too, because I have a Sangoma thing that I need to go to.
Yeah, rituals and stuff.
Rituals. I need to go connect with my ancestors, or my grandma is going to hand that to me, and be like, okay, people openly talking about Sangomas.
And it's like they're very important conversations for them. Like, I think amongst them, when someone say that, oh, that's nice, and they're, all the best. But for me, if you say, I'm like, hey, please don't do witchcraft on me. But
yeah, that was also a culture shock for me. But yeah, that's good. And when it comes to culture similarities, what's your favorite, you would say?
I think we all have a sense of family and belonging, and we really embrace it. I think all of us, we really, I don't know if it's a similarity, but I feel like people really love each other. Like, South Africans are like, they're rooting for themselves. Tanzanians are rooting for themselves. Like, we all have that, I don't know what's the right English word for it, but we really have that umoja, basically, in all the different countries, it's very nice to see. It's across the continent, just in different language or spheres, but it's very common across the continent, I've noticed.
Yeah. I always imagine how powerful it would have been if Africa we had been able to speak the same language.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take some time, I think, but I think that will be very good. But I think, a movement like mine and many other that have come before me or that are gonna come after, I feel like there are things that are gonna really help amplify the volume. Like in last year in August, I got a chance to be part of it's an NGO called African Rising, and they do different things in Africa for minority groups and just underprivileged groups in different spheres, fighting for rights in different countries. And then we were there just as a few influencers to amplify the conversation on borderless Africa, to have a borderless Africa. And it was so nice because we are all, for the majority of us, were influencers. And we had our own section where we just sat in a table and, spoke about it. And it was so interesting because we are all people of I would want to assume, of the similar, it was age group, similar thoughts. We are all in the same kind of like mental capacity in a way, Probably someone has maybe a formal education, or most of us had formal education and stuff. So it kind of like nurtures how we think. So I kind of feel like, obviously we're different, but we think in a similar scale in a way. And it was so interesting. Everyone from different countries, they're raising their concerns, South Africa was very concerned, they're very developed, and what does borderless Africa mean for them? And then other countries are also just like,
was this the one about visa, talking about visa? Why do we have visa within Africa?
Yes, why shouldn't we have visas and stuff? And, everyone was giving their concerns. And, when you take a step back and you just don't be delusional, they're making a valid point, because economic growth is not the same across the continent. But does that mean opening the borders is going to spread it out? Or does that mean everyone is just going to go hunt on that one or two? So... But
I'm curious, what was your view with Tanzania? And because I think we're among the countries where people get in very easily.
It's quite easy here to be here. I think, interesting. So, because, sometimes when consume certain content or certain views can change how you view stuff. And living in South Africa, I see always their views just like people are going to come take things from us. But before that, I also thought like, what if people bring things to us, just like different things of how to do things. And we have had a big battle on, Kenyans, this thing of Kenyans, people saying Kenyans are stealing our jobs and stuff like that. It hasn't been amplified to how South Africa is with Zimbabwe. But, I always feel about it. I'm just thinking like, let's see how we can do it. Can we maybe pour more to our education system and create more competent people?
So you
and use
think
it as a
we
challenge?
could also create more barriers, like not...
Yeah, I think we can create, some barriers, but it can also be free. I think we can just look at things and come up with solutions. We don't have to say, they're more educated than us, they shouldn't come. Maybe we can also be educated as well and have a fair... obviously it can't be fair because their system, maybe it's been better for a long time. But I'm sure if we start to maybe improve for example, our education system now, I'm sure in 20 years, the next generation won't be having the same conversations on, they're going to steal our job because they're better than us academically, because we're also going to be as competent as them. So, yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a discussion probably needs to keep going. Yeah, because, among the things that I've learned in other countries, especially South Africa, is how patriotic they get about their country. And I got to learn that, I have a country that loves me and I need to be very patriotic about it and love it.
I was actually so shocked. I was just so shocked of how they really love and they're bold about it. And it really works out because, so this is the other thing. I enjoy music a lot. And I think music connects us a lot, like from different parts of the world. And I've always, every time I see other genres of music go further, I'm always thinking, what are we doing wrong? Like, why is bongo flavor not as big, And then I could be wrong. Actually, I don't think so. But I feel like, with our genre of music, it's constantly we're trying to fit in. Like when Afrobeat was big, we're trying to sound like that. When Amapiano was big,
we're trying to
sound, and then also there's also this thing like we don't listen to bongo flavor at a certain level of lifestyle. People always feel like, oh my God, like, that's ghetto, like you're better than this. You should listen to Western music. But in South Africa, it's so different. The rich and the rich are listening to their songs. They are requesting for their songs to be played. So it creates that a very small gap for something else to come in. It does. Nigerian music is played. It's big there. Burna Boy has performed there. But the music is just so big. And you can see how evident it is. Because it's like, if you constantly... It just feel like that thing, if you're loved at home, you'll be loved somewhere else as well. Because like, people always say like, why is he loved so much? Yeah. So I feel like if you go... Because even when people visit South Africa... and they think they will listen to other music, I'm like,
Yeah,
you
you'd be
bet.
surprised.
You will be
There are
surprised.
very
They
few
won't play
places.
that artist you think is big. They won't play that music. And could they be like maybe doing it too much? Maybe, but it's important for every country to root for their people that bad, openly in public. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. For now, I'm rooting for my country.
Viva Tanzania.
Okay. So, in your travels, and now that you're doing this Vision Africa,
Yeah.
Africa 54 countries by 2026 August. Every time I say it, I feel like, whoa, wait. Yeah. What are the challenges that you faced, and you anticipate that the challenges that you think you will face doing this? What's something that you think can actually stop you?
So I've been to Congo, and they're going through some political issues. They have war. It's not as prevailing at the moment, but there are a few countries in Africa that have that. So I mean, those I'm a bit hesitant how it's going to turn out. But like Congo, I had a great time. It was beautiful, and I hope they give me the chance to show their countries just more than what we think they have. And yeah, so I think that's one. But then just government, administration, bureaucracy, that can be I mean, even one of the reasons I'm back now from Uganda is, and one of the reasons why I can't do a full year-round trip nonstop is, obvious, when I have a business, I need to be still for a minute and just figure it out. But again, it's just, like things like visas. We still need to apply for visas in Africa. And, the bureaucracy, things take time. And to just gather all the documents, all the time, they'll probably ask for something different. And so I think that is just one. I think those are the two main things, apart from money, those two main things. I feel like just the bureaucracy and the political situations in places, I think that could be. But the other ones, I just feel like they're things that I'm used to. As a Black traveler, you're not as welcomed even in Africa. You go to restaurants, they just treat you like, hey, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
They don't
Can
give
you
you
afford?
the
They give you that look.
Yeah, they just give you that look. You just see on the service you get,
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm just like, the more we travel, I guess, they'll be like, hey, maybe we should treat them better as well. Eventually, I think, representation matters a lot in these things. And I think, yeah, it's important. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the things that you think, the challenges of that, even as Africans, to be accepted within Africa? Because I can imagine when you're traveling, you'd want to try, let's say, also the high-end places where you're treated with people would be different compared to how they'll treat like a foreigner or a white person. So what do you think are the things that we need to do that can make Africans travel better within Africa and even outside?
Yeah, so I think first, is always from the government perspective, like different governments. I think we can have more policies that really allow Africans to travel in Africa. I also think, based on our history, it's been years, but some of its prevailing effects of our history in different African countries. We don't have the purchasing power of other people that are coming. So I feel like going to places, for example, now I was in Uganda, gorilla trekking for foreigners is $800. For East Africans, it's $80. $80 is still a big amount for most East Africans, but it's nice to see they're taking the initiative to have local prices. It's so sad that other African countries that are not part of the EAC have to pay $500.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of much of a difference just from Africa, just from like a different region. But I feel like if our policies are better, we can enjoy this continent better with also like a local pricing points as well. Because I think most of the things can be quite, because there are free things like the Nile, right? But private entities have taken over, because the Nile is, it's beautiful and whatnot, but all the activities are private ties and their money making. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't make their money whatsoever, they've invested, but I feel like it's important to have African rates for most of these activities. And again, this will be a challenge, I guess, for how, just asking someone to treat you better, because I feel like it changes so much the experience. Like every time I get a waitress, I get, a guy that, they're, for example, they're giving instructions, and they also ask me, "Are you okay? Are you catching up?" And I feel like, dang, it's so nice, but it doesn't have to be like that. Like, I don't have to feel like, oh, thank you for the favor. It just needs to be standard, that I don't feel like, oh my God, you're really looking out for me. It just needs to be, yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So, I want to wish you all the best. I'll be here. I'm rooting for you. Heartman Dialogues is rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
54 countries. I recently read somewhere they say that it's actually being debated right now. There are 55. So, but yeah, so I'm rooting for you. All the best. I hope you get all the collaborations that you need.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I really enjoyed the Europe tour that you created for me, the itinerary. So I'll be back for more trips, for more planning.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So maybe lastly, if you have any question for me, the host. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, I would say. And just thank you for inspiring us in a different sphere. From your I followed you for social media for a while, and it's just nice to see how you evolved and how you go for things that you want and like, and also just to change stuff that you want to change and just go about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. If we resonate with you, please follow, subscribe, share, and please don't forget to follow Jovenchi on social media, Unlock Dunia on Instagram, and Jovenchi on Instagram also. This is an amazing journey. We're going to see Africa through him, 54 countries by August next year. Okay, thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you so much.